The Duke is on the air.
Today's guest stars are Duke Ellington, America's top composer of jazz music, and his famous orchestra. And now it's time for tune number one, Blue is the Night.
Good evening, Ann Arbor. This is Dave Crippen with Michael Poole, our demon engineer, working the board. And this is the Duke Ellington Hour every Sunday afternoon from 5 to 6. And we just played one of these marvelous Treasury Show, radio Treasury Show pirates that Fairmont put out for a while until the Duke Ellington estate called a halt on because they weren't paying royalties to the Ellington estate. These apparently were played on the ABC network from about 1945, summer 45 to early 46 as a sort of a final Treasury bond drive. First there was the drive to beat the Nazis, and then the Japanese, and then finally a victory drive and a reconversion drive. So they kept milking these war bonds right up through into 46. in any event, it was our it's our benefit that we were able to, that somebody was able to transcribe these. Mel Torme had them professionally transcribed, and he said that he had treasured them all those years until finally someone talked him into putting them on LPs. Well, it turns out that these are available from another outfit, Jerry Valburn's outfit, and you can subscribe to the whole series of about 50 LPs. There's quite a bit of duplication involved, as you might imagine. Duke played many of the same tunes over and over again, but on the whole, they have a marvelous ambiance to them because they're live, and it's Saturday afternoon, and everybody's pretty mellow about that time, and it's a great. The band has a great feeling, especially when they get to some of these army camps, as they do in 1945. So we're in Toledo on June 9th, 1945. We just heard Fred Fisher's Blues Is the Night. I think that's Fred Fisher. And in any event, he is just about to record this, or has recorded it, in mid-1945 for Victor, and it will be released in a few months. So we're going to hear a tune called Can't You Read Between the Lines, which is a ballad of this era. I'm not sure who sings it. And then we'll hear a marvelous thing with Johnny Hodges called Hop, Skip, and Jump. So, Duke Ellington, Toledo, Ohio, June 9th, 1945.
Yes, sir, folks, you don't have to read between the lines to tell what the Duke means. But speaking of reading between the lines, that's our next number. Can't you read between the lines? Well, now, friends, it's Johnny Hodges and his alto sax combining his talents with the band to hop, skip, jump.
Jump, which was in about 6 months from now, they're going to Ellington will sort of tighten it up and use Cat Anderson on the growl trombone and make a real knockout recording of this called Rockabye River, which is really one of my favorites in this period. And it's I don't think it's available anymore, but I got it on a double album called The Indispensable Duke Ellington, all from the 40s. But Hodges is marvelous on blues. He can do anything. He's a swinger, a blues man, a ballad man. He's just, I think, probably, I've come to the conclusion he's probably the best altoist ever in jazz. What do you think, Michael?
Well, he's up there. I don't know. It's just that jazz had changed so much since then, and people have developed new talents. I mean, in his day, I'd say that could be pretty well said.
Well, he lived until about 1969 and was playing right at the time he died. I don't think his talent ever diminished, and I don't think jazz had changed that much. I think Parker and Pepper and others did come out with a slightly different approach to jazz.
That's the main argument, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be Charlie Parker taking the throne or something, as some people said.
But Parker was somewhat limited in the things he could do. He couldn't do any. The ballads he did, that one record for Norman Granz, was sort of a freakish thing. I don't think he ever did any
The
ballads.
Strings record?
Yeah. It's called April in Paris. And he did it with strings, and it was fine, but I think that was the extent of his ballad. He really was a bopper, pretty much.
Well, it was more like taking all those notes out of the top of his head and spewing them out in a weird fashion that was never done.
Well, it certainly was unique, but I still cling to my my feeling that Hodges is the best all-around altoist that I ever heard. In any event, there's a lot of room for argument. A great tune from this period coming up called "Solid Old Med." I don't think it was ever commercially recorded, or was it? No, I'm not sure that was, but it's a fabulous arrangement and features. I'm not sure. I think it features maybe somebody like Cat Anderson. In any event, and then we'll hear who's our ballad man in this period?
On what?
Singing.
Herb or Al? I can't remember. I think it's Al.
Al Hibbler. Yeah, Al Hibbler. So we'll hear Al Hibbler on a marvelous Duke Ellington tune called "I Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues." So Duke Ellington live from Toledo, Ohio, in mid-1945.
Fade up the applause here.
Now continuing, friends, it's the Duke with the Solid Old Man. Well, now, friends, it's Kay Davis and Albert Hibbler who combine their vocal talents to sing I Ain't Got Nothing But the Blues.
Got the change of a nickel. Ain't got no bounce in my shoe. Ain't got no fancy to tickle. I ain't got nothing but the blues. Ain't got no coffee that's perky. Ain't got no winnings to lose. Ain't got a dream that is working. I ain't got nothing but the blues. When troubles flare up, I keep my hair up. I just can't make it come down. Believe me, Pappy, I can't get happy since my ever-loving baby left town. Ain't got no rest in my slumber. Ain't got no feelings to blue. Ain't got no telephone number. I ain't got nothing but the blues. I ain't got nothing but the blues.
And now it's all out with Larry Brown and his trombone, and I Miss Your Kiss.
the lovely, smooth, I guess you'd call it legato tone of Lawrence Brown on a superior ballad, but I suspect was an Ellington ballad, called I Miss Your Kiss. Before that, we heard the ineffable Albert Hibbler, as he liked to be called.
It's Duke Ellington coming to you from Toledo, Ohio.
Thank you. This is Duke speaking. I'd like very much to explain these next three numbers. They're in answer to many requests. We call it a blues cluster. It's a combination of Diminuendo in Blue, Rocks in My Bed, with a vocal chorus by Marie, and Crescendo in Blue.